Ready to record podcast?
Welcome back to the Max Level Podcast, where me and my brother Daniel, we talk about a whole lot of random ass shit. This is the podcast number 20. Nice solid number. We're one away from being able to drink legally. Today we're going to talk about some YouTube scandals, and then later we will talk about the Dallas shooting and what went down with Alton Sterling. But first, let's get into it. You can find us on all the social medias at Max Level or Max Level Studios. You can find Daniel on Twitter at Daniel's Paradox. You can find me at Modern Day Hell. Find Daniel J Paradox 105 everywhere else.
Daniel J Petry 105.
Daniel J Paradox. Daniel got a name change.
That would have a nice ring to it, though, Dylan.
Yeah. Well, all right, Daniel. Do you want to tell them about the T-Mart Syndicate Lotto Go scandal?
Do you want me to do like a short version of this or kind of like a long?
Do the long version.
We'll get it. Okay. Basically, two false person.
Don't tell me. Tell them.
Oh, I'm telling them, baby girl. I'm telling them. But two YouTubers, popular for Call of Duty, T-Mart and Syndicate, basically started a business named CSGO Lotto. In CSGO, it's a first person shooter online. You can basically trade skins, sell them, and some of them stuff like thousands of dollars. And they own this website called CSGO Lotto, which lets people like gamble with them and have a chance basically to turn like a $20, $40 skin and get lucky and like win more and keep betting and like basically win a lot of skins. But they basically advertised it like a friend introduced it to them and everybody should go use it. Like basically it was advertising to all those subscribers. But kids could play it, and it's basically half encouraging kids to go gamble with these skins, hoping to get big. And they did, like, it wouldn't be so shady if they didn't, like, do, like, reaction videos like them winning big. Like, T-Martin literally was the founder of this website and did a video clickbaited how to get rich, or how to get 13K in 5 minutes. And it was him basically winning, kind of scamming somebody else out of how I'm guessing 13K out of skin, like $13K worth of skins, like they didn't do just so much shadiness and them owning that and being like having millions of subscribers on YouTube,
and I guess I'll start explaining more of the legal part.
I'm milking the lake dry here, doing them up.
And if you guys don't know what the FTC is, it's the Federal Trade Commission. And the FTC law states that if you are sponsored or affiliated with, and which, being the owner of a website and also co-owner, so T-Martin is the owner, Syndicate is the co-owner. If you're the owner and co-owner of a website, that means you're affiliated with that site, and the outcome of what you do is directly related to the website. So, but if you're affiliated with the website, you have to disclose if you are or are not. And they did not until after the fact, until everything started blowing up. If you'd like to find a good video over the Federal Trade Commission with all of this, you can watch the Philip DeFranco show. Yeah, that was the best one I've seen. Or H3H3. They were both great. Philip DeFranco was the first one I saw, and he did a great, entertaining job with all of this. But the Federal Trade... So this is T. Martin's first time that I know of. So he may have legit... But Syndicate, Tom, who cares? This is his third time. I can't remember the first or the second time. But the other time was with Machinima, with the Xbox One, getting paid to do sponsored videos saying how great the Xbox One is. But he did not disclose he was being paid by Machinima or Xbox to say that the Xbox One was great. So that was the first time he got thrown under the bus by the FTC. Can't remember the second time, and now this is the third time. I would like to see at least a little something happen. The FTC pushed back a little bit because 3 strikes enough. Whenever you're the vice president or president, you still got to follow the laws. You can't have 13-year-olds gambling on your website. Even if it's skinned in a fictionary game, if those skins can be related into real world cash, and parents are getting scammed out of their money because their kids don't know the difference
and
by
both of them
gambling.
using the website themselves to get more money by
And-
through these skins. Like, that's also the shadiness. Like, to make to show that they haven't scammed people out of a lot of money. Scam people out of a lot of money. Scam people out of a lot of money. Like, they need a lot of paperwork.
Scam people. Because you said scam people
Yeah.
out of 3
I was
times.
trying to focus, but you are being all weird and physical.
Alright, keep going. Scam people out
We're
of
fine
money.
with doing. But like, they're gonna need so much paperwork to show that they have not just kept using the website themselves to make money. They'll need a lot of receipts from Valve or something for the transactions of these skins. I don't even know.
And a lot of...
They
And
just need to be punished at least in some way.
And that's a good point. And a week before all this got thrown into the light, Valve, which is the company that has created Counter-Strike Go, which is CSGO, which is what all these lotto games, which is gambling skins, are on, that game company got a class action lawsuit against it for it and these gambling websites for basically getting scams and basically a whole bunch of cahoots that has to do with gambling and minors, which is not really the prettiest thing. And yes, there is like 4 or 5 other gambling CSGO websites on this website, but CSGO Lotto was one of them. And then all this comes out with T. Martin and Syndicate, and it is just not looking good for the whole Counter-Strike Go scene, the whole gambling scene. And it was happening just in a time when Counter-Strike usually sees one of its biggest peaks during, I forget what competitive gaming event it is, but it has one of the biggest turnouts for Counter-Strike Go and a few other games. It's a big event, and this is just throwing a whole lot of shade on that. Daniel, you have anything else you want to say on this little topic?
They need punished, at least in some way, shape, or form. I don't even, haven't even thought about it enough to think about what would be a proper punishment, but it needs to be taken to the FTC. They need to do something to them. Basically, just with everything else happening right now in this world, something needs to happen. That's all. Something needs to happen to them, because they could have potentially scammed so many people. So many minors, too,
Right. Alright, Daniel. Alright, so we're going to move on. Segue, we're, get in here, but it's going to be a nice, slow segue, because it seems like it might be a lot to talk about, because a lot happened since we've been gone. First, let's start with the Alton Sterling shooting, which is the shooting in Baton Rouge. Yes, I know we just literally got done talking on the last podcast about the Orlando shooting and gun control. You know what I mean? It was a shooter in a gay club that shot up a lot of people. You know what I mean? And that was just a single crazy person. Here we have Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge and there is one thing I want to say before any of this. It is community based. If you are not experiencing it,
fix your hair, broski. My hair looks crazy, but you looking. You're just folding it back, making it a million times.
All right, hold on. Daniel says I need a wardrobe check.
Yeah, he's just
fill in for me, broski. Fill in for me.
We need a voice. Where you was going.
We need a voice. Okay. Well, anyway. Okay, I got this.
Good. But
it's
kind of better, you little psychopath.
Oh yeah. Anyway, it is community based. So if you're not experiencing this, you just gotta say, "Hey, shit happens, but I'm living in a good place. Let's figure out what I can do." I think one of the best examples of people who are saying "Yeah, I'm not going to let this affect me or my position." Have you seen? Man, I think it was Gordon, or it's a cop on Instagram. It's the cop that brings He goes to the ghetto. He brings them toys. He brings them like food and stuff, all the time out of his own money, out of his own pocket. And he posts pictures and videos on Instagram. And the videos on there is a great example of like cops that are great. And these single incidences, I don't think, define really how like America policing is. Like if you look at just the numbers, in 2014, yes, this may seem like a lot, but 1,200 civilians were killed by police. I know it may seem like a high number,
but compared to what, 300 million of us in this place or something like that.
There's 300 million, and living in the South, I can understand why there's just some crazy motherfucker on drugs. What I don't like is that black people are being killed disproportionately to white people. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, white people make up about 75% of the country, and black people only make up about 10 to 15%. Not sure. But in 2014, going back to that same report, white people were killed 500. Black people were killed, 300? Which you're like, hey, they got killed less than white people. But you got to remember, white people make up 75% of this country, and they didn't get, you know what I mean? Like, they should have been 3/4 of the killings, but they weren't. And black people were a third, 25%, and they only make up, 15%. So, that's what I don't like. But you got to remember, this is a single incident. Not too many deaths. They save a lot more lives than what we know.
And go through a lot more than most people know. Like, I seen one thing that shared a lot on Facebook. Some cop basically holding his kid after he had to deal with basically a mother that got in a crash and he found the kid ejected. Like, they go through enough shit on the daily basis. Like, and turn it around into
and just like with mass shooters, just how easy it is for either people who want to do violent acts of terror, or just a mentally challenged person who gets a gun and has it in the wrong idea that what he's going to do, killing certain people, or like the Columbine kid, there's something mentally super fucked up about those kids. Not only were they dark and disturbed, but you know what I mean. But so they were easily I know they didn't go get weapons legally. Anyway, same thing with police training. You know what I mean. Just as a whole lot of good ones make it through police training, and guess what? One or two bad ones make it through, but that's just the way it works. Sometimes it happens.
Completely trying to bring it back to the topic. You haven't brought up that whole topic. To bring it to the whole.
All right, tell me.
I don't put off on me. There's been too many fucking shootings or too many fucking shootings in the way people have been sharing on Facebook. I don't even.
If you don't remember Alton Sterling, he's the guy that
a cop. I don't know if was he the one that they basically two cops had him held down, and then they was gun, and then shot him 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Alton Sterling was outside selling some CDs. There was an anonymous caller who said he threatened somebody with a weapon he had, which he did. He was found that he did have the gun in his pocket, but an anonymous caller called to say that he threatened someone with a weapon. So police show up on the scene, thinking someone threatened someone with a gun. They show up to that guy just selling CDs. They tell him to get on the ground or whatever. I don't know. I can't really tell. You can watch the videos yourself, but I can't really tell through the struggle or whatever. To me, it looks like he's not reaching for the gun at all. It looks like they wrestle him down to the ground, then just end up shooting him. That's my perspective of what went down. I think the bigger thing, and it was. Yeah, I just also got done listening to Colin Moriarty talk a lot about this, but he makes a good point of that anonymous caller is a very big point of if he did not threaten someone with a gun, if that anonymous caller, you know what I mean? And he also makes a great point that anonymous call, you know what I mean? There's no such thing as an anonymous caller. They know who made that call. Like, they may not give out the number by saying it's anonymous, but they know exactly where that call came from. Like, and if it was a payphone, they should find out, like, who or what. Because if he did not threaten someone with a gun, and someone lied about that, and cops come in thinking there's a hot situation and there's not, then that dude's on the fuck up. Like, that dude's on the fuck up. Like, that caller is. Because, like, they basically killed that person off for a little joke on themselves. Probably because he saw a hardworking black man outside of a store selling CDs. Probably doesn't like the man, and it was like,
probably only had
fuck
the gun
you.
for self-defense, because it was literally a whole neighborhood, and he didn't know what he could have got into. Like you said, fucking stupid. Like, they know who that anonymous caller is, and they could, like, exactly, like, they go in thinking it's a hot situation. Of course they're going to be overreactive, like, not really even overreactive, just more in, like, fear of their own life, too, like, so they're more out to do something drastic, like.
Exactly, and let's remember, this is just a single incident in Baton Rouge. I mean, yes,
if he's
a few people get killed by...
how's he selling CDs? Would confuse me. Are they, like, pirated and bond, or are they, like, just legitimate CDs he bought from home? Like, that's what,
like, don't get me wrong, like, that is also...
That also sounds kind of illegal, so that also, like, kind of... but I don't know. I don't know how...
Yes, I don't know how he's selling CDs.
Comment the fog meme, but that's none of my business.
Yeah, I mean, I look like kids running down the street. Maybe they're going to get Pokemon or something. Maybe. Who knows? But
so find out about that next time.
So that was just one single instance. Now let's move on to the Dallas shooting, which, to be clear, please go do your own research on the Dallas shooting, because he was not associated with that Black Lives Matter movement in Dallas. He was a sniper in an elevated position, taking advantage of a lot of police being together at the same time. That is why he was there at the Black Lives Matter movement. Yes, the dude was black, and yes, the dude got blew up by... Yes, they wheeled a robot in there, and they just blew him the fuck up after hours of negotiation.
Really? Oh my god.
See, yeah, it's because people don't do their, people don't look into it enough.
I mean, don't get me wrong, but do they know exactly where that's crazy?
After hours of negotiation and after a few back and forth shots, they determined there was no other option. I forget exactly.
Was it like a mortal robot that, like, they just type in some longitude and latitude and don't?
No, from my understanding, it was more like you know what I mean? Like, he's in that building holed up, like, we got this whole place surrounded, he can't leave. Like, he keeps firing at us, or something, or he said he was going to do something. I forget exactly what led up to it, but they just, you know what I mean, remote controlled this robot in there, had a bomb attached to him, and blew him to smithereens. Done for.
I don't blame him.
But the shooter was not part of the Black Lives Matter movement. I think it was 8 or 10 dead, a few other injured of the police force, which is just horrible. It's horrible that someone is not helping either cause. He did not make police or black people feel any safer, because any smart black man knows that what he just did just made police more anxious and more afraid all around people, because you got people on TV like Bill O'Reilly saying random shit like, it's all because black people are more violent. No, it's because the system has been turned completely against them, has been all throughout American history, still is. And the Black Lives Matter movement is not saying any other lives don't matter. It's saying, in America, we historically have not shown that Black Lives Matter, so please acknowledge our lives.
Pull your head out of your ass and
acknowledge our existence, acknowledge our lives, please. Just like you do any other.
The last the last bit of the whole racist generation just needs to finally peel off. Just like a scab, just let it get to, like, all the internet, like, people, and just let all the old racist people peel off. Like, let us young, open-minded, free thinkers fucking take a hold and bear it in the good direction. Oh, Hillary Clinton or Trump, either one of those walk too, right? God. We're so fucked.
This should just be the title. We're so fucked.
Nah.
But if you had to so before we end, if you had to ask me what you could do if you were either a cop or a black man or either or, what you could do to help fix it, because I would rather see it be community based, because we're in Tennessee. Baton Rouge, Dallas are so far disassociated from our community that I am not seeing it. But if you're a black man or a police officer that are both seeing it, I say get involved. Go talk to the other side. How else can you? I feel like that is the biggest way to help any, like just any side, you know what I mean? Like if you're on the Black Lives Matter side, like instead of protesting, like maybe you guys should like start setting up meetings with the police department and like sit down and talk with them.
Like it sounds kind of
a party. Daniel,
have some fun. Like it's kind of like a meet together. Don't be like, we need a meeting. Let's sit down. You need to at least, well, you know, of course they need to have meetings, but they need to have some fun too. They need to like, it sounds terrible. I need to kind of counteract and make myself not sound
a party.
Because they just need, like you said, a meeting, but then all like, do something fun. Don't be an egotistical dick, Elo. That's the main thing. Stop being egotistical fuckles. Even with females on either or side.
And so I think like, so, you know, setting
kind of sounds just sexist too, makes it male related. But no, it can't.
So setting up meetings, I think, would be a good way to help. And police officers, I think a great way is the dude on Officer Gordon, Officer G on Instagram. Like just like he just like, I don't say spend your own money, but I think just driving down there and showing that you like care. Honestly, you know, fuck the adults, fuck them. But the kids, like if you just go down there and show the kids that you care, you could show a whole new generation of like, oh, that cops actually care. And like adults have to make their own choices. Like, I'm sorry, but they've had 10 or 20 years, you know what I mean? 30, 40-year-olds, they've had 10 or 20 years of making their own choices. Like if they, at that point, it's almost like racism, you know what I mean? At that point, if they hate cops, they're probably not going to go back on that just because. It's like kind of what you're seeing with Trump, you know what I mean? Like, whole bunch of racist, Islamophobic people coming out of the woodworks for Trump. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just like one of those things that like you, like, once it's ingrained into certain people, like it just doesn't come out of them. But with kids, like
exactly.
you can make them love and feel safe.
Yeah, you
can do great things.
So good and protect you to a little kid in the ghetto. Like you might not see an immediate change, but it could end up keeping them out of drugs or keeping them out of any of the bad things circulating around like the part that they grew up in, like the hood and whatever. Like it'd keep them and potentially even their group of friends. Because like, no, cops ain't as bad as everybody here is trying to tell us. So actually, you know, like, and a whole new generation of people that'll be like talking up, and then eventually it will finally all be, well, we look at each other and like, cuddle.
Mm-hmm. And and my final point is, we're just two white brothers from the South. What the fuck do we know? There is more informed, more intelligent people that know more about this than us. But it's better to keep the conversation going than to let it stop. Because it's not, you can't blame either side. You just got to look at the facts for what they are and say, what can we do about it? And there's more intelligent people than I who will know what to do. But thank you guys for watching, as always, the Max Level Podcast. This has been kind of a down, depressing episode 20, but honestly, it needed to be talked about. Me and Daniel just
talk about CSGO Lotto and that. Like, oh god, that is kind of a down on money wise, and then a down on emotions wise. Gosh.
But
episode
it's
20, all about depression.
It's stuff that needs to be talked about, but like, you know what I mean? Daniel let some random weird shit, but you know what I mean? Like, it's something that me and Daniel just need to at least try to keep the conversation going on. But if you like, you can follow Max Level on all the social medias at Max Level or Max Level Studios. You can follow Daniel at Daniel's Paradox or Daniel J. Petry 105. You can follow me at Modern Day Hell or Extremely Petry. And as always, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. What, you got something to say, punk?
Yeah, you
Punk.
shitty ass